Oh, welcome everyone. I'm home and weirdly there are no cars at home, so we are once again in the Good Morrow Arms. And I've had to turn the heater on, it's that cold out here. It is now Baltic, but not Baltic as in the Baltics. It's probably colder in the Baltics, but nevertheless, it is Baltic. Now, last year I rejoiced when Raquel decided to put up the price of road tax for the milk floaterati. And I went into my corner for a bit. And now I am regretting my decision. Always happy to admit when I may have been a little bit premature on the gloating and on the smugness. Because last week I was looking at the auctions and there was a BMW X3 that was going cheap, and I thought, I do like an X3. I could do with someone to chuck the dogs in. If I can get it cheap, I'll have it for a bit and then flog it on. That was the plan. And I just thought, before I do, I know that certain models of these are subjects to rather high road tax. So I thought it's worth checking because A, I don't want to be paying the road tax, and B, it's going to be harder to sell if you've got a big amount of road tax on it. I once had my Range Rover up for sale, 3 litre diesel, 2007 Vogue, and one woman texted me, dear of her, and said, 2 questions: what's the road tax and what's the miles per gallon? And I simply replied, it's not for you, my love, buy someone else. Because you don't buy a car like that if you're worried about stuff like that. However, with the X3, it's just literally to go to the beach and back and to ferry the dogs around. I don't even going to do much with it. So it just seemed like a stupid idea to buy it with the intention of selling it on. And then, over the weekend, one of the newspapers, I don't know which one, ran a story on how in April, when all the new road tax fees come in, it's going to really affect certain cars. And I thought, yeah, of course it will. You know, your BMW M series and your Porsches and all the top end stuff, your RS6s and all the rest of it, it's going to affect them. And I thought, well, that's not really a story, is it? And then I read the list, and I should be wearing a black armband. This is a sad day, a sad day for the likes of me and the likes of you out there that love nothing more than buying a 15-year-old car that is lovely spec, lovely engine, maybe got a V in front of it, bit of fun, something nice to drive, and something you can enjoy. Well, Raquel's put the shitter on that big time. Because this list I'm going to read you now is one of the most depressing lists of all time for cars that are now being taxed out of bloody, not extinction, they're being taxed into extinction. They're being taxed out of circulation. Because, and I mean the first one, right, and this is a weird list because I'm surprised this one's even on the list, because it's a Saab 900 convertible. Well, 99% of these must be tax exempt now. So if you've got one, just sorn it for a year and it'll be fine. Because the Saab 900 convertible, as of April, will be 735 quid a year in road tax. And what a beautiful thing it is. But it'll soon have classic status. So that one, it's not so bad. However, from then on in, my God, what a list of weird cars this is. Number 2 on the list, the Land Rover Freelander 2. I mean, no offence to my sister, I never mention my sister on my broadcast, and I very much doubt she ever watches any of my videos. However, for years, she owned a Freelander 2, right up her street. Got a little 18th century cottage in West Sussex. Got the obligatory spaniel to go in it. A little bit of land, and it very much the school run country car of choice is the Freelander 2. It's nothing special. It's not even, it's only a bloody 2-litre diesel engine in it. However, Raquel has seen fit, in conjunction with the DVLA, to put the road tax up on a Freelander 2 to 760 quid a year. And I mean, you're not the X3. You might get a bit of excitement out of it. 2-litre petrol. The Freelander, you ain't getting no excitement out of a Freelander. You're getting some Hunter Wellies and a Spaniel. That's what you're getting out of a Freelander. And now you're getting a huge tax bill as well. So, Raquel, what are you doing? You've literally decimated the Cotswolds. I mean, they're all in Evoques now. And I haven't seen the Evoques on the list yet. So, hopefully most of the Cotswolds will be all right. But, thoughts and prayers. And then number 3 on the list, this is where it gets proper tragic. Because one of my favourite cars, with one of my favourite engines, and indeed the photo you can see was one of my cars, and I've had several of these, it's the Audi TT 1.8T 225 BAM. No! I mean, the beauty of these things are you can pick them up for £1,000. I once picked one up for... How much did I pay for the blue one? This is not the blue one in the photo. That'll be the first one I ever bought. I think I paid about 1,400 quid for that. Been remapped. But the blue one I bought with a knackered roof on it. Never have a problem with buying a convertible with a knackered roof. Particularly if it's German. Because as long as it's not one of the metal roofs, they're normally quite an easy fix. If you've got the software. So, I think I paid 500 quid for it. And then I bought another one and I paid 900 for that. So they're and then you're in a car that's so much fun to drive. They really are brilliant fun. I've said this in several videos before. If you've got a grand spare, go out, buy yourself a TT with a 225 engine in it. Just hours of fun. Cheap fun. Not anymore. Raquel's ruined that. 760 quid a year in tax now. The dirty bastards. And that really, I mean... That's the depressing one, except the next list. I mean, it just gets even more depressing. It doesn't get any better. And I mean, this is a weird one, because you associate this. All right, the TT is a 2-seater sports car. It is fast. It is good fun. It is a luxury item as such. It's your second car, even though I used to have one as my daily for about 18 months. Just because I liked it, and I thought, well, what do I care? I'm only in the car on my own. We had an X1 at home. But the Ford Galaxy that they stopped making 15 years ago, granted, it's only the one with the 2.3 petrol engine in it, which is a rare beast in itself because most of them are 1.9 TDIs. But the Ford Galaxy will now cost you £735 a year into tax if you've got the 2.3 engine in it, which... I mean, it's a 2.3 petrol engine. I think Ford must have gone back to their American days where they used to put 5-litre V8s in and detune them to fuck. Because I wrote down, it only makes 140 brake horsepower out of a 2.3 petrol. That's not trying hard. Then, this is another one of my cars from my own personal collection. The first ever V6 I bought, this was. And this was the Jaguar X-Type 2-litre. I think I had the 2.5. But the 2-litre is £735 a year road tax next April. And again, a car that you can pick up for less than £1,000. And it was a lovely drive. Granted, one of the most thirsty things I think I've ever driven, because I drove it properly. I do not drive my cars like milk floats. You do not buy things with V's in them. You do not buy TTs. You don't buy these cars to tootle along at 56 miles an hour on a That's not what they're for. If you're driving them like that, you're wasting the car. Get out there and thrash it proper. And in fact, I did that with the X-Type, and I was getting about 9 to the gallon out of it, which wasn't that great. So I shifted it on. I think I only made 50 quid on it when I sold it, but profit's profit. I mean, I spent more than that on fuel just driving to Tesco's and back. but it's now on the list of shit. I mean, what are we talking there? 7, 12, 6, 6, 12. Yeah. You're looking at 65, 66 quid a month in road tax if you do it on direct debit. I mean, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. As is the next one, which I don't have a photo of the one that I owned, but it was a green one. It was the classic dark Subaru green for 'tis the Subaru Forester 2.5. I do believe Top Gear, when it was the 3 original presenters, one of their favourite cars of all time, because it just does everything. And it's just ultimately, at the end of the day, it's just ultimately reliable. It's Japanese engineering. It goes on forever. Normally driven by women that have got trousers held up with binder twine and a couple of dogs and chickens in the back. Shit eye. The one I bought was absolutely filthy. But they always hold their money. They always just go on and on and on. And now you got to pay 735 quid for it. And these are just normal, everyday cars that people just go out and buy for like less than a couple of grand. This is mine and Jeff's bread and butter. This is what we love. And Raquel's taking all the fun out of it. Because there's no point buying a car for £1,000 if it's going to cost you £760 a year in road tax. That defeats the object of cheap, fun motoring. And on the subject of cheap, fun motoring, this one's not cheap, but it is fun. And it is on my list, and I have never owned one. It's the Golf R32. As far as I'm concerned, the best looking Golf ever made. I mean, it's proper max power generation. It's got the beefed up spoilers. It's got the bloody kit on it. It's got a nice body kit. It's got a beautiful engine. Goes like shit off a shovel. Makes a beautiful noise. Looks like a proper boy racer car. 760 quid a year in road tax. When you could buy the new Golf R and pay less than half that in road tax and technically have a better performing car, but it wouldn't be the R32. You know. And then, right, what is this in here? And this is mine, and I sold it to Jeff, and Jeff sold it to a bird in Wales. This is my PT Cruiser. And you can see there's videos online of the day I handed it over to Jeff in a wheeler dealer styly. I threw him over the bonnet with the handshake. And as a result, Mike Brewer, the original, the guaranteed it was him, commented on Twitter and went, "Brilliant, boys, but your handshake wasn't strong enough." I mean, recognition indeed from Mr. Brewer himself. But that was the day I sold the PT Cruiser to Jeff in the car park of Morgan Cars. Surrounded by wardrobes on wheels we were. And I mean, who in their right mind, A, wants a PT Cruiser? I mean, it's an interesting thing. And I kind of like it in a weird, you shouldn't really like that thing type way. But I do, it's like a guilty pleasure in it, the PT Cruiser. I mean, it served no purpose. You looked like you were trying to be Danny Zuko from Greece, but in a Audi Lidl type way, like a Lidl Danny Zuko. And now it's £735 a year in tax. Raquel, again, you've ruined the fun out of it. I'll pick that up from auction for less than £1,000, and I sold it to Jeff for less than £1,000. I literally didn't make a single penny on it. I just gave it to Jeff because he had somebody to sell it on to. I don't think either of us made any money on the car. We simply just sold it on to each other because it was a bit of fun. And I think he painted some flames on the side or something. Jeff will have a video of that. And then a car I almost bought. I test drove one of these back in 2001 when ex-wife was pregnant with the boy, my little boy that features in the videos. And I really wanted one of these, but she didn't. Now, here's the sacrilege. I test drove the Zavira VXR, and I test drove it in the electric blue, the best colour they made, and it is absolutely bonkers for a people carrier. Absolutely bonkers. There was no need to have that kind of performance in something that you're ferrying around your bloody precious children in, but it was good fun. However, we came back from the test drive and she went, "No, Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, what did you have instead? Well, let me tell you. And don't get too excited because it wasn't whatever you're thinking, because it was the Zara Picasso 1.9 HDI exclusive with the refrigerated glove box. I don't know what you're thinking, Tone. You could have had the Zafira ZXR and instead VXR, even ZXR, it's not a Kawasaki. VXR, and instead you got the Picasso. And do you know what? In the words of my mate, Dickie Weir, I do not regret my decision. The Picasso is one of the greatest cars ever made in the history of the world ever, and I will not hear anybody tell me otherwise. Yes, it might look like a cream egg on wheels, but my God, as a practical car for a that wasn't 2001, that was 2003. That was when Euler was coming along. Oh, got me dates wrong there. It's 2003 because we had the Vectra SRI at the time, the 130 with a spoiler kit on it. Oh, I love that car. I love that. I'd have another one of them tomorrow. Looked like a touring car because it had the spoiler kit on it. A little boot spoiler because it was the saloon. It was a proper, looked like a proper 90s British touring car. I love it. It had the 130 stickers on it and proper. But no, we had the Zara Picasso. And I have to say, what a car. Storage like you wouldn't believe. A boot big enough to store your own house in. Came with its own shopping trolley. Came with a refrigerated glove box. Came with captain's chairs at the front. The back seats had fold-down trays before they'd been thought of in other cars. The middle seat folded down, it had a tray. There was storage bins in the floor for smuggling things back from when you went to France to do a booze cruise. Just what a car. I'd have another one of them tomorrow too. The old ones, not the new ones. The proper 2001, I think they came out brand new. I think mine was a 51 plate, which is weird. Maybe I bought it in 2002. I thought I bought it brand new. Oh well, I don't know. You see, that's the problem when you have mental breakdown. The past becomes very hazy, and yeah, I just can't remember. And the ex-wife doesn't talk to me anymore, so I can't ask her. And finally, and this is upsetting, but again, the VXR and the Mondeo V6, both selling for 4 or 5 grand now, held their money and gone back up in value, become collector's items. I suggest that come April, that might change because the Mondeo is the V6 Mondeo. I think they're 2.5. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was a 2.5 V6. And the one that I've just put up now, it'll be there or there, depends on what angle the camera is at. That's on Auto Trader for 5 grand. So held its money really well, but 735 quid in road tax now. I mean, that's as depressing as it gets. Really is depressing, isn't it? And there you have it. 10 cars that are not remarkable in any way, shape or form whatsoever, that Raquel has deemed we're going to strike a hammer blow. And these people are going to go, oh, I won't get the Audi TT. I'm going to go and get myself a Dacia Spring. Oh, I won't have the Zafira VXR. I'll go and get myself a generic SUV, which could be any car from any maker ever, because they all look the bastard same now. You never see a spoiler kit on a car anymore, do you? Whatever happened to spoiler kits? Oh, there's your standard model. And there's the souped up one. It's got a spoiler kit on it. It's got side skirts. It's got a little bit of the scoop on the back just to give it a bit of downforce. And it's got a couple of stickers on it. Whatever happened to those cars? They just don't make them anymore. Not even like the average thing. Obviously they do in sports cars. But just like turning a normal saloon hatchback estate into something special. It used to be a thing. We need to bring that back. That's what we need to do. So there you have it. Raquel Reeves, once again, proving that she hates you. She hates your car. She hates the way you want to live your life. And she hates everything you stand for unless you subscribe to her doctrine of milk floats, heat pumps, Miliband, Starmer. I feel like I'm back in Mel Gibson mode. Someone's going to have to paint me face in a minute and I'll go out and shout freedom. Because that's what needs to be done. We need to find a way around this. I don't know what it is. Do we then just go and buy cheap VXR, cheap Zefiras and put VXR kits on them to get around the road tax? Still be cheaper in the long run. Well, who knows? Maybe that's something I could do. Go buy a cheap Zefira and turn it into a VXR. In fact, I'm going to go and have a look and see what's on eBay right now. And see if I can go on the auctions. See if I can buy myself a cheap Zefira. I might just do that. Sounds like fun, doesn't it? Might cheer me up. Because otherwise, this is a very, very sad video. Right, here's to turning a bog standard Zefira into a VXR lookalike for no purposes other than to save money on road tax. Future my arse.